It appears that operations have been shut down here at Lion Electric in the Joliet area. And Joliet's mayor says this could mean the sale of the business.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, over the past couple episodes, myself along with others have been carrying the rounds of layoffs happening in the automotive industry, especially here in the EV sector, and the numbers keep growing. Now, there is no way unemployment will go down or stabilize soon if this particular sector, who by the way has so many other branches attached to it, especially along the supply chain, and they're actually getting affected. Now, the recent layoff at Lion Electric's Joliet facility, that's the feature that we're going to look at today. Lion Electric is a stark reminder of the challenges facing the EV sector, and it was once heralded as the transformative project for Illinois. The plant's temporary shutdown and workforce reduction will impact over 400 employees. It has sent the common word being used today is shockwaves through the local economy and raising questions again about the stability of the EV industry. Before we dive right in our first feature, because we're going to feature two videos today. The first one from NBC Chicago. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and please hit that thumbs up button for the algorithm if you have to go before the end of this particular video. I just want to reiterate the fact that a lot of us were never in agreement with the EV mandate because we saw this coming and we tried to warn them. But the only thing we can do at this point in time is to show you the repercussions, to say we told you so. So let's get into our first feature.
New at 4 o'clock, a Southwest Suburban electric vehicle plant closes its doors after opening last year with a lot of fanfare.
I know you've covered this company as well. NBC5's Christian Farr brings us the story.
It appears that operations have been shut down here at Lion Electric in the Joliet area. And Joliet's mayor says this could mean the sale of the business.
Our bus is actually beyond those two great things. A lot of technological advances.
In July of 2023, Lion Electric opened its plant in the Joliet area and celebrated that it would produce 20,000 electric vehicles a year, which included electric-powered school buses. But on Sunday, Lion announced that it has shuttered the plant, leaving hundreds without a job. In a written statement, Joliet's mayor said Lion Electric has implemented a temporary layoff of its workforce, which has unfortunately affected the Joliet production site. The city and the Lion Electric team are in an ongoing communication as the situation develops, and we remain committed to supporting efforts to keep Lion Electric operating in our community.
We're training people for jobs that exist and the jobs that those companies are going to need to fill.
Governor Pritzker also celebrated Canadian-based Lion Electric coming to Illinois, and today his office said in a statement that while this measure is temporary, we remain hopeful that Lion will continue to serve as a pillar of the Joliet community, and we are confident their 900,000 square foot facility will continue to be a standard bearer as the largest all-electric U.S. plant dedicated to medium and heavy-duty commercial vehicle production. Lion Electric has not said what they plan to do with this plant. The mayor's office says that Lion has received a 2-week credit extension from its banks, and during that time, they will evaluate what they plan to do, which could mean the sale of the business and the reopening of the plant. In the Joliet area, Christian Farr, NBC5 News.
So Lion Electric entered the market with big promises, including producing 10,000 electric buses annually from its 83,600 square meter plant. You're looking at it right here, and this is going to be just a white elephant sitting down there. However, their financial pressures, including declining revenue down 62% in recent months, and then well compared to 99% drop in profit by Nissan, it is a big factor. And the sale of assets like its Quebec Innovation Center, it's highlighting the company's struggle to maintain operations. And these challenges not only led to layoffs, but also a halt in production at the Joliet factory, undermining the region's ambition to become a hub for green technology manufacturing. But not only that, we're going to take a look at the immediate after effect of this closure, courtesy of the CBC. Take a look at this.
It's a comfortable ride. I mean, it's quiet. Like, you don't hear an engine.
Quebec school bus operators have been working to go electric now that the province requires them to do so. And some are very happy with these electric buses.
That's a diesel bus. You hear the noise? It's not the same, eh?
But with Quebec-based manufacturer Lion Electric in financial trouble, some operators are worried about where this leaves them. Lion Electric is laying off 400 employees. That's more than half of its remaining staff, after the company had to let go of 520 people earlier this year. Lion Electric missed a deadline to repay a loan over the weekend, but
520 people before and now another 400. That's almost 1,000 people let go in space of a 12-month period. So you see how the numbers keep increasing each time, and if we don't catch it at a particular news outlet, well, we never normally hear these things. So we continually have to actually follow up on these stories to go ahead and calculate the numbers. It's astounding because the EV mandate, the EV initiative only came forward between 2018 2019, and then the pandemic came in, set things back. But the real homework was not done properly to ensure exactly how the resources will come about. Let's continue.
they got a 2-week extension, so it will keep operating for now. Bus operators worry if the company doesn't recover, who will maintain the buses they already have on the road? Only Lion mechanics are allowed to work on them.
So it's completely different. I mean, it has nothing to do with the combustion engine.
C'est au niveau des pièces, de l'entretien ou les réparations.
The president of Quebec's Carriers Federation, representing private bus operators, says companies have to contact Lion for parts, maintenance, and repairs.
C'est ça qui préoccupe beaucoup les transporteurs.
That's what worries operators the most, not being able to transport students if the bus doesn't work properly, he says.
They have a monopoly on these buses. Only Lion mechanics can work on these buses. And then it's directly impacted the kids because nobody looked at the pros and the cons of the EV mandate. And one of the first pros you have to look at is, the environmental benefits, because EVs, like electric buses, reduces greenhouse gas emissions and all that. And then we have job creation. The EV mandate create and foster job opportunities in manufacturing, renewable energy, and infrastructure development, things like that. But as fast as the jobs are being created, the faster they're actually disappearing. And then there was the energy independence, a shift away from the fossil fuels they try to beat upon, right? Decreases the dependency on oil imports. But we can't do anything at all without the dependent on oil. And then they were looking at the long-term factor in terms of health improvement. Cleaner air from EV adoption leads to reduced respiratory illnesses, carbon gas emissions. They want to decrease that. We all know that, but we have to look at other means and ways about carbon reduction, not go full scale onslaught on the current set of vehicles running around. And that's where the cons actually come in. So the number one con so far we're looking at is the economic vulnerability. You're seeing it right here. Companies like Lion Electric and others show that the EV market is really volatile with the high dependency on government subsidies and favorable market conditions in order for this to go forward. Any twist and turn in terms of the shift, the elastic and inelastic demand and the market demand and supply in terms of the supply chain that exists within the current EV structure. EV industry takes a whole different shift from that of regular gas-powered vehicles. So you're developing a whole new supply chain. And once anything gets affected along that supply chain, it causes a ripple effect. The other con you have to look at is the infrastructure gaps, charging networks, and the grid. How can the grid need to be updated? The grid is lagging behind in terms of the ambitious goals of the EV mandate. We keep talking about this over and over, but until now we're seeing the repercussions because people are losing their jobs and they're losing the means of ways of supporting their families. Then we have the high initial cost. Can you imagine the billions of dollars that were poured in to actually build this facility? EV production and purchase are more expensive, posing a challenge for budget-strapped schools and municipalities. And now we're seeing job displacement again. Traditional auto manufacturing jobs may decline and skills for EV production may not align with the current workforce. The Joliet plant right now you're seeing struggles emblematic of the risk tied to the rapid policy-driven shift in the industry. The community and the state government invested heavily in Lion Electric, betting on its long-term success, millions of taxpaying dollars. These closures, however, demonstrate the need for a decision to learn about business. We have to get back to basics. The 4 factors of production, they were completely wasted, which is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Businesses are much different now, so mandates and laws must take careful consideration and align itself with the 5-step decision-making process. We'll get into that when we get back. Let's continue this video.
Have invested a lot of money. We need the federal government also to act in favor of the development of the market for electric buses outside of Quebec.
Lion Electric has blamed delays on a federal subsidy meant to help transit operators buy buses as one of the reasons for its declining sales. Here in Quebec, bus operators don't have access to that federal fund. They only get subsidies from the province, and some say it hasn't been enough. The Federation says the provincial subsidies offered to buy a new bus only cover a fraction of the price. The province says that its subsidies are some of the most generous in Canada and cover a good portion of the cost. Then there's another subsidy to help cover operating costs. This bus operator in Lévis says it also comes up short, and the end result is Lion.
So where does it end? You need taxpayers' money to fund a complete industry. You see where the problem lies? And the 5-step decision-making process I was talking about is that you identify the problem, which was greenhouse emission and climate change and all these things. But is the EV mandate the solution? You have to, once you identify the problem, you have to identify the alternatives. And once you identify the alternatives, you choose the best alternative, implement that alternative, and then the 5th and final most important thing is to follow up. We're not doing any follow-up. This is the repercussion of following up. People are losing their jobs, and now we're asking for more taxpayers, which we have to be increasing taxes on the people who are working outside of those who are currently unemployed. It's a whole ball game of politics out there playing. I don't know what to say in terms of how we're going to go over this, but we just need better decision making and better policies. It's not about politics. It's all about business right now. Let's finish up this particular segment.
And has fewer clients.
The industry is not ready to buy because we don't have the financial capacity to buy electric buses.
Meanwhile, the province said it's studying ways to help Lion keep their maintenance service going if the company has to stop operations. Tager has an idea.
A couple of technicians here, they approach Lion Electric to see if there's a possibility for them to follow training.
While the EV mandate aimed to tackle climate change, their implementation must address real work economic and logistic hurdles faced by manufacturers, workers, and communities on a whole. It's not about just throwing taxpayers' money at them. Lion Electric layoffs are a wake-up call for stakeholders across the entire EV sector, and achieving a sustainable transition to electric vehicle requires not only innovative policies, but also stable support system for companies and the people whose livelihood depend on them. We are nowhere near where China is, or can we compete with them if we don't own, control, and can access to the resources based on from a backward integration standpoint. But as usual, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.